Okay, so the question is work out 3 over 10 times by 5 over 12. They want me to give my answer in the simplest form. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. First of all, we're going to do it the normal way. So we're going to time numerators and times denominators. Writing out the question again, what you do is you times numerators and you times denominators. So I'm just going to put this all into one big fraction. So 3 times by 5 over 10 times by 12. On the top, that gives us 15. And on the bottom, 10 times by 12 is 120. Lovely. Okay, so from this point, we do not have the simplest form and we want to get there. What we do is we identify numbers that both of these can divide by. So initially what I see is this is in the 10 times tables and the top one is in the 5 times tables. So what I'm going to do is I am going to figure out what times 5 is equal to 15. Okay, so this is equal to 3 times by 5. And the bottom one is equal to 24 times by 5. I know that because 12 times by 10 is equal to 120. 12 times by 10. So if this halves, this needs to double. So that's what I did in my head. When I've got something in this form, I can cancel in the top and bottom. Why can I do this? I can do this because this here is equal to 3 over 24 times by 5 over 5. So we can do this because when we have a fraction like this, we can split it up into separate fractions, as you've seen. Okay, 5 over 5 is equal to, you imagine a pie and you split it into 5 sections and then you select every single one of these sections. That is the whole thing. So this here is equal to 1. Anytime you times anything by 1, it just stays the same. So is equal to 3 over 24. So I can cancel these out and that is equal to 3 over 24. Lovely. Okay. And I notice 3 and 24, I can do that again. So what I can do is, this is in the 3 times table, so putting it into the same form like this. 1 times by 3 and 8 times by 3. And then if we do this again, we cancel. When we cancel, that leaves us with 1 over 8. Okay, in a GCSE, they might ask you a question like this. It might be the case that the numbers are larger in a non-calculator paper. So in a calculator paper, very easy. You'll just type that into your calculator and it'll spit this out. However, in a non-calculator paper, you're going to have to be able to do this method here. Okay, the other method. What we can do is we can get to this step again, times by 5 over 12. Okay, and then move into that step, 3 times by 5 over 12. Okay, then what I notice is 10 is equal to 2 times by 5. So when I write it out again, instead of 10, I'm going to write 2 times by 5. I'm going to put that in brackets. And then what I notice as well is 12 is equal to 3 times by 4. Times by 3 times by 4. And I'm also going to put that in brackets. And then these aren't made up of anything that can be cancelled, they're prime. So these break down, both of the denominators can break down into something, but nothing in the numerators can. So I'll just keep the 3 times by 5. Like what I did above, what I can do is cancel. So I'm going to draw a line through the 5s and that will give me a 1. Let's say each time I cross out, that will give me a 1. And then I do the same for the 3. One little 1, little 1. Okay, so on the top, I'll have 1 times by 1, so is equal to 1. And on the bottom, I'll have 2 times by 1 times by 1 times by 4. So that is equal to 8 on the bottom. So you can choose either method, top or bottom. However, this bottom method is what I'll do because I never need to get to these big numbers here and think about what goes into either. So this is how I do it, and I can show you another example also.